Hi everyone! I am so excited to be back. Christy Vegan here with A Home's Journey, and I have been really excited to join this live that we're going to be doing today. I was so excited I joined a day early and nobody was here. But today what we're going to be talking about is artificial intelligence, and it's really interesting because this is something that is permeating our lives in so many different areas, and it's no different when it comes to interior design. So we're going to be bringing on today, me and the Foyr team, we're going to be bringing on Sarah Tabb of Sarah Tabb Interiors, and she and I are going to have a little discussion about how it helps or might hinder our business. So let me bring her on. 1 second. I hope everybody is doing well.
Hi,
Hi, Sarah.
Christy. Hi, very nice to meet you
Oh,
today.
welcome. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you so much. Same here.
You're so welcome. Well, I gave a little bit of an introduction about what we're going to be talking about today.
Uh,
Artificial intelligence, and is it, something that's really a value add for our business, or is it a threat? But before we jump into that, I want you to talk to the audience about who you are, your background, and all the wonderful things about you.
Thank you so much for sure. So first of all, I want to say hi to everyone. This is Sarah. I am an interior designer, and I have a background in architecture. So I studied in two different schools. Both are CETA accredited. And I got my bachelor degrees from one and a diploma from the other. So I have been always very interested in this field ever since I was little. And I got to also be very interested in AI because I have a partner who is a tech person who is also working day by day with AI.
Mhm.
So this is a really interesting topic for me to speak on today.
Yes, and I think it's an interesting topic because it is so new, yet it's becoming, so interwoven into our everyday lives. And, some people are feeling the pinch and seeing these types of things replace their jobs, and others are seeing it, create new jobs. So, we as interior designers could kind of take, either side of the coin, right?
Right.
So I think, just to play devil's advocate a bit, I see I have like makeup on my finger here, but just to play devil's advocate, I'll, sort of take the side of it might be a threat. And I think that there's value on both
Yeah.
sides. But I'd love to hear your opinion and your take and your experience with it in your business, and how do you use it?
Yeah, for sure. So, first of all, I totally get that it can sound like a threat, like because we got hit by AI all of a sudden when
Mhm.
ChatGPT came. So we were all surprised about like how it's so able to do so many things for us that we had to spend so much time to do it. But for me, I was actually personally at first very happy that it happened
Mhm.
because, in my opinion, it can be a game changer. And it's because it can streamline our tasks in like our job so much. And as you know, it interior design is something that is very time
Mhm.
consuming for some people that are not into our industry or field, like they don't know the details that we're working with day to day. And it can take so much time to do specifications or like, choosing materials, renderings, and stuff like
Mhm.
that. For me, I found it very helpful in terms of generative AI and how it can like generate images and for instance some ideas that I want to showcase to my clients.
Mhm.
So before I used to like sit down make the models, do the renderings, spend so much time to show just an idea to a client. And then they would say, okay, I would like maybe modify here or there. And this is something that happens in our job, and it's like something that is so normal. But for me, she or he didn't know that I have to spend like 5 more hours to maybe change this thing. But with AI, I find it very easy for me to just give them an idea of
Mhm.
what my headspace is, and maybe generate like modify a little bit and use the generative AI to like change it and modify it the way that they want it, and just give them an idea instead of actually creating the whole project and showcasing it to them. So I feel like that was really helpful for me in terms of renderings and modelings, but also the text generatives were something that helped me like plan my day-to-day tasks, like help me with project management and stuff like that.
Awesome. So, do you essentially create your, mock-up that you're working with the client on initially prior to getting the job, as sort of to like save yourself some time, or is that like you've landed that client and now we're kind of ideating about what we're going to do?
Okay, yeah. So you can use it both ways, but it really depends on a project. So some projects, if you just get an idea to a client, if like it's a smaller scope of work, maybe if you're designing a bar or a kitchen, I can just use that, look, the AI for the whole project and not
Mhm.
like go into the actual modeling and rendering and stuff like that. Sometimes that would be really helpful, but sometimes I just use it as an like conceptualizations and like ideations, and just show them like what my idea is, so they can get an idea, and then we can go more into the details.
That's awesome. Yes. And there's, folks who are commenting that, yes, it is a time saver and they are, figuring out ways to integrate it into their,
Yeah,
businesses as well.
yeah.
Um, One thing that I've heard, and it's a realistic, concern is those folks who are, quasi DIYers, but, think that they can do a big remodel and it's like, yes, I've got AI and I can do it. Like, what would you tell that, homeowner or that person who's like debating between hiring you or, doing it themselves through AI? Like, what would your argument be? How would you handle that?
Chrissy, the way I look at AI is like AI is your very professional and smart assistant who you need to guide it to be able to help you in what you want to do. So
Mm-hmm.
I, as a person, need to, for instance, like tell and guide and lead the AI to help me get the results that I want. So I can understand that some people can think that if, like, for instance, we have so many interior design AI related platforms that, okay, I can just use them and I can just get clients and I
Mm-hmm.
can just work with that and make a like business out of it. But I can, for instance, tell like the AI platform that I want to design this kitchen with this style. Okay, it will give it very beautifully. But what sets us apart from that AI platform is that I know what a kitchen triangle is. I
Mm-hmm.
know how it will work with
Yes.
the codes and where the appliances need to be placed to be actually logical for instance, one person kitchen or two-person kitchen. So it's not something that you need years of experience. You need so many trials and
Mm-hmm.
errors in order to actually be able to create something that you need to live in a space that is safe, is functional. And I don't think for now AI can do that, but it can definitely help us with like images, ideas,
Mm-hmm.
helping us like just not to like helping us brainstorm and not to be in our head too much.
Right.
Sometimes we have like concept block, and it will
Exactly.
help us. Yeah.
Yes. I sort of think of it as um, when you're going into a new subdivision or a new suburb and you've got those three different model homes, right? And they are beautiful. And everyone's like, yes, I love this. And, that's what really sells them on the idea. But to your point, like once we get past that, then it can get overwhelming. And, somebody trying to replicate that, model home perfection of living into their own home, you can quickly get overwhelmed and, begin making poor choices and regretting it.
Especially in our field, other than education, I feel like it's something that you need to have so much experience. I know so many great, like I studied to like I got my bachelor's, but so many people just get their certificates, and
Mhm.
once they work in the field, they're really great designers. You don't have to study a lot. So the experience is really important, and I don't think it can be replaced by something that like just was guided by some people to do something
Exactly.
that they want. If I'm kind of interpreting it in the right way.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So how do you use Foyer's Ideate program within
Yeah,
your
so
world?
ever since AI happened, I try to like in my page I try to like introduce like some AI platforms that can be helpful for students and people who are working in the business. And I feel that it is a wave, and if we're not like surfing on it, we're gonna be left behind. So I would really recommend in any job, not only in interior design, I feel like AI is something that we really need to be adapting, because if we don't adapt it, if we be skeptical about it, we're just going to be the ones that are going to be behind, because the speed of it is very fast,
Hmm.
and we need to go with it, and we need to be able to adapt it to be able to be proficient in our job and be like one of the top people in our field. So how I use so I started using different platforms, and then I came across Ideate, and I started to work with it a little bit and here and there, and I found it really easy and like very user friendly. So some platforms are not like, you want to choose something to be part of your habit, and if
Hmm.
it's not something that you can work through it with flow, and if it's not user friendly, you're just gonna be okay, I don't want
Right,
to use it anymore.
right.
But Ideate was something that I found it very easy to work with, very easy to modify it. It's really smart to like understand different styles in interior design. Some platforms only know a few styles, but this one was very like broad and like had different varieties, which
Hmm.
I really liked.
Right.
And I use it to conceptualize. I found myself, I don't use my Pinterest as enough. So it was really helpful for me to create ideas for my clients.
Hmm. That's awesome. Yeah, for me, I maybe I'm a little old school, and I'm learning and I'm on the way. Like, don't get me wrong, but I also would argue, I guess the threat in that, and I can't even say it's a threat. It's just, I think that there's something missing, the humanization that
Yeah.
AI doesn't bring to the table. And I think that it isn't, a threat for us. That's actually a good thing because, that we are a human, we can understand, we can empathize, we can understand like there's a deadline and we have to get things done. And, once you get past that conceptualization and that ideate phase, it is all about project management and executing on that design. So we almost like do two very different jobs in one. So, but for me, as regards to Foyer, I use their Neo program. So it's what I kind of grew up on. And in the sense, it allows me, and what really sold me on it was it allows me to make it exactly as I want to see it. So I think for me, people would say I like to control things, whatever, but I can control exactly, what goes into that. And then I know the why behind it, right? And
I
I
definitely
can
get you. Yeah,
explain that. So,
exactly.
and either way, I think there's a time and a place for both platforms and for both arenas. And, if you're not using it, like like you said, like,
Yeah.
bye.
Yeah, I totally get what you say about like having the control, especially in our job. It's something that since we are directing the design direction, so we want to be able to change everything, even the
Mhm.
little, because when we are designing in AutoCAD, we are like, if we for instance make a mistake in 1 inches, it's going to be 1 foot like in a actual building. So I understand you like saying, oh, I want to be able to modify everything the way that I want.
Mhm.
That's why we're saying that it is not a threat, because we still need to think, we
Yes,
still need to be the mastermind behind it to help us to like get where we want. It's just gonna be a great assistant for us
I think so
for
too.
now. At
I think
least.
so too. And I think, um, the control element as well is as you then begin to, I'm seeing all these questions come through,
Yeah.
but the control element of it would be, I guess, not getting things lost in translation when you have contractors coming in and you have folks who are looking at that design and saying, okay, like we're going to place this here and these inches and that plumbing, and so again, like two different elements, but I think it's exciting what's happening. So
Yeah,
I want
very
to go to some of these questions.
good. Let's do it.
um if I could find them. Okay. What do you think is the most important part of interior design, and which tool do you recommend to get started?
Um, okay. It was a really general question. So what was the first part?
What do you think? We'll do a two-part question.
Okay.
First part is, what do you think is the most important part of interior design?
Okay. So the important part, I feel like apart from the design and the ideas and all the beautiful things about it, is, for instance, I'm someone that is such a passionate person about sustainability. So I feel like whether it depends on what project you're working in, whether if it's something that is commercial or it's for public, it should be the most important part of it should be the functionality, the safety, being compliant with the codes, and like the things that make the space functional. The circulation is correct. It is good for accessibility. So these are the things that you need to consider. And this is something that AI does not know right now, or it
Mhm.
cannot use space that is based on these protocols. But if you're just designing a residential, I feel like the things that is really important about it is that the how the place make you feel like, because
Mhm.
you're gonna spend a lot of time in our home, and I'm such a homebody and I like to spend a lot of time at home.
Mhm.
So I like that space to make me feel at peace, at ease, make me feel relaxed. It's uncluttered. So you need to know a lot of like design principles. You need to get yourself familiarized with like design elements to be able to make that happen.
Right.
So
And,
that's
and then I would
what I.
say, if this is your business, understanding your client, and how their family works, and even taking some time to sit down with the kids and the husband, or dad, or whatever it might be.
Person is important.
Mm-hmm. So I think to your point exactly, like functionality is huge, and then just having that be that safe peaceful sanctuary for you to come retreat to. That's, yes, being able to hone in on all that. That's what's most important.
And there was a second part
The
again.
second part
Where to start?
is, which tool do you recommend to get started?
Yeah. Which tool?
I can take
AutoCAD is
this one if you want.
yeah, yeah, go
Okay, so
ahead.
for me, it was actually Foyr Neo. And this is my second career, interior design. I did a tech job for a number of years and was in sales and whatever else, but my heart has always been in home and design. And, so for me, I was
I
like,
can see
I got
your
my
lovely
first
background.
job. I'm sorry?
I can see your lovely background.
Oh, thanks. But my first job was doing a closet, like an addition to this beautiful master bedroom for a friend in the neighborhood. And I began to realize I didn't have any way to conceptualize my vision in a professional way. And there were a lot of programs out there that I tried, and I feel like I'm pretty savvy when it comes to tech stuff. And it was like, I needed something quick. And that's when I stumbled upon Foyr Neo and started with that. And I mean, it's been amazing and such a game changer. And they are such a good, business partner. And, I'm 3 years strong with them, and they're still an integral part of my business. So that's what I would say, how to get started
That's
if
right.
you're
And funny
looking for
thing
rendering
is,
stuff.
before I get in contact with Foyer and like getting to know the ideate. So like I feel like it was like again 2 years ago that I wanted a quick way of like doing my plan. I didn't want it to go in AutoCAD. So I
Mhm.
went to for a Neo and I tried to work with it and I met like my 3D model very fast. Like I designed my area very fast. So that was really helpful. I was like, oh
Yeah,
my gosh, I spent so much time on AutoCAD. I mean, that's good for some bigger projects, but when you need like lots and lots of details, for
right.
instance, if it's a hotel. But for all the other project, it is a very comprehensive like
Yeah.
platform to work
It
in.
really is. Yeah. And I mean, 12K renderings and
Amazing,
virtual walkthroughs, and it's
beautiful.
all, integrated in one. So I guess like the one thing I love, love, love about it is
Yeah,
the fact that you can take exact furniture or exact tile
exactly.
or whatever it might
That's
be,
really
and like put that in there. And it is that, name your brand sofa, right?
yeah.
So, or console, whatever it might be. So for that, like, it's so personal. And from an aesthetic design perspective, it's very detailed. So,
Yeah, I think that would be a really great tool for them to for people that hasn't started like in like getting to know other tools that are very much more complicated. This would be something that you feel very at home. You feel like
mhm,
it's very comfortable to work with. You feel like you're not overwhelmed. You don't feel that you don't know anything.
right,
So it's something that is very
right.
helpful.
And the support team is fantastic.
Yeah.
So let me go and see if we've got any more questions here. A lot of people saying hi, 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 hi.
Hi.
There was one other one. Well, I don't. Oh, hold on. No, we're not going to talk about Bitcoin
It's
here.
going, yeah, I was just looking at that.
Um,
That's so funny.
Yes. One point is AI is artificial, not real intelligence. Human touch is so important while designing and executing. And I think, it's a tool in our tool bag, but it's not necessarily the end all be all. And we're not going to be living under robots.
Yeah, exactly.
So, well, is there any last parting words, any recommendations, any thoughts that you'd like to share with the group?
I think that I just want to say that we should not be scared of like what AI has brought us. we should be really happy. We should like use it and implement it in our day-to-day lives. Even if you're like not working, if you even if you're just like a homemaker, you can use it to like plan your day. It
Right.
can help you to like plan like kids things and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
in general, in interior design, I feel like this is something that help us in so many different ways, in our plannings, in our programmings, in the questions that we want to ask our clients, the programming stage, the conceptualization stage, the design stage. So everything about it can help us to improve our lives and save our time. So this is something that can be very helpful, and Foyr here is something that helped us very much,
Mhm.
me and Christy. So I really hope that you guys can give it a try and see how it will work for you. And I'm definitely that you guys gonna enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, please tell everybody how they can find you or how they can work with you.
Yeah, so you guys can find me through my Instagram, sarahtab.interiors. And we can, I'm actually very happy to help all the students who are in interior design to you guys can ask me any questions if you want. I can provide you the tools that you need. And I, in my interior design page, talk about like AI, about the design trends, and about like design, different designer styles, and the schools that you need to go to get the best degrees. Because like there are a lot of interior design and architecture schools, but the ones that I'm saying, you guys can work like all over the world. So
Mhm.
there are a lot of good tips that you can find in my page, so I'll be happy to have you.
That's awesome. Yes, and like, probably become an expert prompt writer, right?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
would be another
exactly.
thing. Is like,
I'm actually planning to make a handbook, AI handbook,
that would be
that
great.
is free for everyone, that has like all the different questions that you can ask AI to help you to get the actual result, because you need to work with AI a lot to be able to get what you want, because you need to
Mhm.
know how you need to ask those questions to give you the result that you
Right.
want. So that's
Yeah.
really important. And
Yes,
I
I think
will announce it on my page once it's done.
please, I'll be looking for that. So,
Thank you.
well,
Thank you so
Sarah,
much, Christy. It was lovely to
oh,
talk to you.
thank you. You as well. And I'm so happy to meet you. And, here's to AI moving forward.
Yes.
All right. Take care. And thank you, everyone, for joining. We look forward to talking to you guys again soon.
Thank you. Cheers, guys. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye bye.